Garden, and joining me this morning is Larry ONeil. And despite the fact that it's hunting season, some people are trying to keep the deer away.
Yes, exactly. Hey, it's the time to get out there. It's cool. Maybe change the plants around. If deer is a problem in your garden, it can be devastating. Work on your garden, and the deer looks great, and one morning wake up, where's it gone? The deer digested it. Some of the things you can do is the University of Georgia. You can use mill organite as a deer repellent, and it's a long-lasting repellent.
Okay.
So put it down in the right percentage around your flower beds, and it keeps the deer away. And versus some types of liquids which you can you can put on, and as soon as it rains, it washes off. Some of the other things you could do to keep the deer away, some fencing around your vegetable garden, or creating barriers. Deer are really, you can have a three-sided fence and then have one side completely open, and the deer will not go in there.
Really?
Because they always are looking for a place to escape.
Okay.
But your last line of defense on your garden is planting deer-resistant plants. And I say resistant because deer, when they're hungry, they're going to eat something. You know
exactly.
what I mean? So, camellias, we were just talking about. Exactly. The camellia is going to be sometime damaged. What I've broken them down is the ones that are sometimes damaged and never damaged.
Okay.
Camellias can be planted or sometimes damaged. Some of the perennials, daylilies, they love daylilies, so don't plant daylilies. You've got deer. Pentas and salvias are damaged sometimes. Hydrangea, which is a great plant for them in the shade, and produces a beautiful flower, and they're not going to really nibble much on the flower. They do nibble on the leaves. Viburnum, some of our native viburnum ovadum, beautiful flowering plant, but also is deer resistant. A lot of times the deer just, when they see those flowers, just boom, boom on the flowers. So you're not going to have any flowers on your plants. Some of the things that are moderately damaged are going to be nandina, any nandina, that are going to have some damage, but not much. They're going to be really, really hungry. Some crepe myrtles are one of the rarely damaged. Now, this is a crepe myrtle, believe it or not. This is one of those trees that gets around 40 feet or 30 feet.
Tiny.
But this only gets around 2.5 feet. So this is a dwarf crepe myrtle that rarely damaged. Boxwood they do not like boxwood. I mean, they have to be starving, you know what I mean?
In that case, you might want to give them some food anyway.
Exactly. Right? So they will not nibble on the boxwood. Ornamental grasses. Here's our native grass called love grass. That's a great grass right there. But they really do not like ornamental grasses. So if you're thinking of what to plant out there, ornamental grass is usually a safe bet. One of the things that I was absolutely surprised by, gardenias are not one of the favorite foods.
You would think that'd be right on the top of the list.
Right, I would think so, but because it's fragrant and it has the beautiful flowers, but they really don't like gardenias. In the shade, there's a great plant called acanthus, and it is rarely damaged.
This is the Brussels sprouts of the deer diet.
They do not like acanthus. Another surprising plant in the shade, fern. Any type of fern. You think it's succulent and tasty, but it's not going to be a plant that they damage much at all. I mean, the thing to remember about deer is they're going to eat something. If they get hungry. Here's one of the most bulletproof plants right here. Cephalotaxis. Now this is a Cephalotaxis prostata. It's a low-growing, spreading, ferny leaf. The deer will not touch this.
Interesting.
And it also comes in upright forms and very easy to grow. Likes it in the shade, good drainage. And then the last but not least, on the ground covers, jasmine, which is an easy plant.
Yeah.
It takes full sun, shade, easy to cultivate, a no-brainer, and the deer will not touch this. I mean, I've never seen them touch it. They say, like I say, occasionally they'll eat it. Dogwood, again, a tough plant. Dogwood, this one's all evergreen dogwood, and it will not touch that. In our native plant called Ilex vomitoria, this is an upright variety with the berries, it's beautiful, and dark green foliage, and it comes in short, compact varieties, upright, and ground covers. So there's a great amount of plants. Go to Ace Hardware. They'll help you, discern which ones are good for the regular garden when we have just people viewing, and then the deer gardens, when deer are coming.
Starve the deer.
Right, starve them out. All right.
Well, thank you, Larry. For more information on gardening, or if you'd like Larry to do your lawn, you can always go to larrysgarden.com or give him a call. Larry's Garden Design and Installation.